So, you think serialized cards are the best thing to happen to Magic the Gathering? Well, I'd agree. But there's one little flaw that I'd like to talk about with you. Welcome on in, Dragon Folk. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am. And today, we are going to be talking about something that I know a lot of us have kind of had swept under the rug due to all of the fantastic Magic 30th announcements. But it's something that I was thinking about. I was at work, and I was wondering how I could be the most chaotic individual in the entirety of the world. And then it dawned on me. Serialized cards. So, for those of you who aren't aware, you can always go ahead and check out the video that I put up there for serialized cards. Serialized cards are being introduced for the first time in booster packs in the Brothers War, specifically in the collector booster packs. These cards, and I'll go ahead and show one right over here. These cards are going to be out of 500. They're going to be, I believe it is an estimated 63 different cards, and each of them are going to have 500 of them printed in this rainbow or double rainbow foil with a stamp on it that says the number of the card out of 500. Okay? And I love the concept, right? This shows a true sense of rarity. I'm sure it's going to be very hard to find these serialized cards. And I think it is going to be something that is going to be sought after for a lot of people. You know, there's something I brought up in the last video was how, you know, I would imagine there's going to be the people out there who are going to want to just pick up every single copy of, for instance, a Wormcoil Engine, right? And get all 500 copies of Wormcoil Engine. But I was wondering what exactly happens here. And I did want to kind of test to see what the full brunt of Wizards of the Coast's force would be. Now, obviously, there are 500 of these cards printed in each version, right? So, one of them is probably going to be Ivory Tower, and then Ivory Tower is going to have 500 different versions of it in that double, or not different versions, 500 versions of it in its rainbow foil and schematic art. So, you can assume that for all of the retro artifacts, that they're going to have a schematic double rainbow serialized card. So I got to thinking, all right, the addition of serialized cards is going to be very crazy for the market. They're going to be super, hopefully they're harder to find, but if they're not harder to find, hopefully they're few and far between enough to the point that people aren't just opening up cases of the Brothers War and they have, 2 to 3 serialized cards per case, because that'd be a lot. But I thought about the fact that what happens if one of those 500 serialized cards gets damaged? What happens, right? Obviously, the big purpose behind this is to have a rare piece of Magic, something that is not going to be reprinted. And now, obviously, we do have things like set collectors. Set collectors still exist, cough, cough, me. And I would imagine there are people out there who would want all 500 versions of this Wormcoil Engine. But what happens if copy 362 gets burned? It's just lit up in flames, right? Never to be seen again. Let's say it gets, documented on YouTube. Maybe it's shown that this is one of the cards, one of the 500 serialized cards of Wormcoil Engine that gets burnt to a crisp. What's the plan here? Do you guys think that Wizards of the Coast would print another one and throw it into a box? Or do you think that Wizards would just let it be and then come to realize that there is only 499 of the 500 cards available in a set? Now, obviously, 500 serialized cards of one kind, you have to have some pretty good ties with a lot of people all around the world to give up their serialized card for your own personal collection. And frankly, I think that the destruction of a card like this is going to make the other ones more expensive, which does make sense because now there are less of them, right? I'm curious to see what the purpose is, right? If this is something that Wizards would go, oh, well, we don't want people to miss out on the fact of owning all 500, if that were to ever happen to somebody, which it probably won't. But you could burn one of them, maybe even two, and the set would never be able to be completed. Ever. Never. It would never be able to. So I almost want to do that. I'll say that on camera. I know what I mean. I love collecting. I do. I do really love collecting, and I love the concept of collecting. And I think that these serialized cards are going to be going for quite a bit of money. But I also like chaos. Chaos is definitely something that sits in the back of this little old noggin pretty often. And I don't know, call it a manic episode if you will, but I genuinely, if I ever get my hands on anything like a serialized card from anything, I might just burn it. Not because I hate Magic the Gathering, not because I want, I want somebody to suffer, right? But I just want to test the waters, see what Wizards of the Coast is able to do in regards to that. Maybe there's an insurance policy on these 500 serialized cards. Maybe there's some sort of form you can fill out to get a brand new one. What happens if your serialized card comes miscut, right? You need to go get it reprinted, and you can show that it's miscut. They have the capability of reprinting these cards. And I wonder if watching somebody literally burn copy 362 would be enough for Wizards to go, oh, well, we'll just print another one and we'll put it in another booster pack and we'll ship it out. Or maybe we'll print one and we'll put it on the open market and make it under a pseudo name or something. I'm curious. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? It's a short video, but I wanted to talk about, it's kind of like the boon and the bane of serialized cards. There are only a certain amount, which does make them very rare and pretty sought after. But the chances of one of those 500 cards being destroyed in some way, whether or not that be water damage or a fire or maybe dropped down a sewer, I don't know. Maybe the card gets torn in half due to something. Maybe while they're printing everything, they have it all just kind of rip apart. I'd be curious to see what everybody thinks. And maybe there's an article out there that already tells me the answer to what I need to know. But I want to know from you guys, if you were put in a situation where you could essentially make sure that somebody out there could never own all 500 versions of a card, would you do that? I think it'd be a fun little thing to do. I think it'd be fun. I think it would also help, bring up the price of the other ones that get brought out. So I don't know. Let me know. It's a very short video today. I just kind of had this weird manic thought in my head, and I figured, well, I might as well share it with the entirety of the internet and see what people think. So let me know in that comment section down below. And also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. And when the Brothers War releases and we get the addition of serialized cards and they start going onto the market and whatever, maybe you want to send one to me. Maybe you want to be a part of something that could be bigger than anything you could think of. But I'd be more than happy to burn your card live on YouTube for you. So let me know in the comments. It's an interesting thing. I might just be going psycho, but I would like to see some kind of craziness happen in the world and to truly be a part of something historical like this would be, it'd be pretty cool. So again, let me know, and I will see you all very soon. Nerd out.